Hello, modern men. Robin Reed here. Hey, we're talking about self-sabotage again. And for those of you that want to increase your financial pillar of strength, that's what we as guys always lead with, right? I've got to make more money. My career's not doing well. I want to get that raise, right? We are intrinsically motivated to those things that are outside of ourselves, right? We are men based upon the labels that are put upon us that give our lives meaning, right? Like this is just kind of the thing that we do until that no longer serves us. So I'm a good man because I was able to attract a attractive partner, right? I got the girl. I drive the cool car, right? This is typically the stages of the warrior, the young man, 20s, 30s. He's in that warrior builder lover stage, right? Where he is a man based upon the things that he acquires, right? He's in the house and all this. When we get a little older, we become a little more mature. We become a fully recognized kind of modern man, I like to call it. And we start realizing that so much of the things outside of ourselves are a reflection of what happens inside. So what we're ultimately talking about is if you want to make more money, focus on the 4 pillars of strength, right? Never before have we needed men to rise into their masculinity and really understand who they are as men and really understand their identity. And I'd even say more than their identity is their essence, right? So, quick story. Any story you read, any movie you watch essentially has this tale of someone being in their identity, right? I am this race, I do this job, this is how I show up in the world, all outside of ourselves, right? And then we are called to a grand adventure and we're encouraged to rise, to right. We have to become somebody new to get the goal, whatever the goal is. Slay the dragon, save the village, get the girl, yada, yada. And what we find is that our identity breaks down and we're being called into a new place, a place of our essence, right? Who are we intrinsically? That little space, I like to think of it, it's just right here, right? That little core that nobody can touch, it's kind of becomes unfuckwithable, right? And when we step into that essence, we begin operating from a new place of empowered sovereignty. And we begin serving the world. So if we think about the energy of money, right? Money is an energy. It's a frequency. It is a reciprocal of exchange based upon something we do, i.e. value, right? We provide value to the world. We get money in return. Right, and this is absolving theft and some of the things going on in deep state. I'm talking about the pure energy of money between two people that want to exchange value with each other, which could also be barter, right? There's other forms of exchange, but right now we're just talking about money. And so we offer value to our neighbor, right? Let's just kind of keep it small, right? To our neighbor, to someone who wants a service or a product and they pay us in the form of money. That's an energetic exchange. And it's a fair exchange when the value meets the product or service exchanged with. It's really quite simple. And just on its basic levels. And so a lot of guys, we as modern men, right? We start hitting our 40s, we get into our 50s, and we're like, I want to make more money, right? I want to be, and by the way, what we really don't, it's not that we want more money, we want to be more secure, right? We want to make a bigger impact. So what I've always found to be true is that 4 pillars of strength: physical, first and foremost. Health is the new wealth, right? You cannot operate optimally, and at full function when you're sick, right, or poisoned. So your health, pillar of strength, then your intellectual, which is your mind, your emotions, right, your spirit, just like I feel good, I'm having a general sense of positivity, which by the way, is why health comes first. It's really hard to feel good about yourself and the world if your body's polluted. So health, intellectual, our thinking is clean. We don't have addictions. We feel like there's an intelligence to us that we can bring to the world. Third, and kind of like in tandem, is spiritual. Your spiritual pillar of health. I'm not promoting any kind of religion or modality. I don't care what you call it. For the purpose of this video and conversation, we'll just call it a higher power. Some type of higher power, something outside of yourself that you will bend a knee to, give reverence to, that you will pray to. Nature is beautiful. The power of Jesus and the Christ consciousness I talk a lot about, which is just incredible. You can call it God. Whatever does not create a blocking trigger for you, right? That's trauma work, and get into that later. Something that says, I know I'm loved, I know there's a purpose, and I'm gonna connect to that spiritual place, whatever that looks like for you. So your third pillar of strength is spiritual. And then fourth is financial. Financial, pure finances. I'm not talking about all the other stuff that we see in the world that's really evil and not fair and horrible. So we'll just kind of put that on the side, because that's not what we're talking about. It's not real. The pure energy of money, where we show up from complete places, where we are modern men driven towards exchange, beauty, legacy, connection, having value in the world, friendships, love, romancing our women, protecting our children, protecting our bodies, and taking a sovereign, and can show up for other people that are wanting to do the same and maybe struggling. So we have that. I like to think of it as an infinity loop. And so going again back to finances, if you want to make more money, if you want to get that job, whatever it looks like for you, start that company, begin with the other three pillars of strength. Get your body right, get healthy, right? The body it writes itself to health. You just have to allow it, right? Second one, simultaneously third, intellectual, spiritual. And these really can be in tandem, right? Getting your mind and heart right, doing your trauma work, doing your prayer work, getting into nature. I regularly work with men, getting them onto the ground. Like, take your shoes off, men. Take your shoes off and do a breathing exercise and put your feet in the soil, in the ground. Send a cord of energy down into the earth, down into the middle of the earth, and bind yourself to the ground. This is our home. We are meant to be here. And there's a lot of messaging that says, we're not supposed to be here, and we're not safe. You got to get to a place of being safe on your everyday lifestyle so that you can handle the things that come up. From that place, you can begin getting into self-hypnosis, and really your ideas will just start coming. Ideas just start popping. It is amazing. And you'll start thinking of ways that you can add value to other people. And then because you have the health and the intellectual self-confidence in yourself, you can make the call. Hey, I see that you've got this need. Let me tell you how I can add value. Let me tell you how I can fix this. Let me tell you, and every business owner out there I promise you, every business owner out there is saying the same thing. He's praying the exact opposite. Why can't I get somebody that'll not steal from me? Why can't I get somebody that'll show up? God, bring me someone who is well-spoken and can be brave and will take care of my customers and will take care of my business. And there are people out there, money is never the problem. There's tons of money. They're printing it like crazy. Business owners, people that have high positions of power, they are employing a lot of people, high positions of responsibility. They want people who have handled the first three pillars, who are physically healthy, right? Who aren't gonna be calling in sick all the time, right? Wearing masks and doing all this crazy stuff. They want people who can think and have critical thinking. They know who they are as a person and will say, no, that goes, The most times I've ever been respected by a boss or somebody in power or responsibility is when I said, I'm sorry, no, I'm not in alignment with that. With respect, I'm not in alignment with that. And let me tell you why. And they're like, oh, okay, tell me why. And now I'm up leveling them. And so money always follows. It's always the last four. And I'll also say, not just money, but maybe lasting money, like wealth. Like anybody can go pop a deal. Anybody can go sell something. Anybody can go get a one-time hit. And I've done that. Oh my gosh, so many times. And I was on the wealth roller coaster. I would make sometimes millions, and then lose it. I'd get the good deal and then I'd go flat, up and down, up and down. And when I really started focusing on those first three pillars and being strong as a man, as a modern man, without conflict, and I could resolve those for myself, I knew my values, the money came. So today we're talking about wealth, ultimately it being the four pillars of strength as a way of stopping our self-sabotage. Stop the self-sabotage, build the four pillars of strength. It happens very quickly. And I promise you that if you step into this work, give yourself a year to really do this work. In 30 days, life's shifted dramatically. In 90 days, it's significantly different. Depending on your ambitious level, in 6 months to a year, your life is unrecognizable. Unrecognizable, I promise you. Anyway, Robin Reed here, Modern Men, talking to the modern men. How do we become modern men that show up for ourselves? We're healed, we're strong, we feel secured, we are loving our women, protecting our children, and showing up. Reach out to me if I can answer any questions. Feel free to press like, forward this, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you.